Walther Kabel was a German writer. He was born in 1878 in Danzig, the son of August Karl Reinhold Kabel and Augusta Theresa Maria Gröbfangs. He attended the gymnasiums at Berent, now called Kościerzyna, and at Kelme, both now in modern-day Poland. Then studied law at Munich, Berlin and Königsberg, but did not like his field, eventually becoming a trainee solicitor in Sopot. In 1932 he joined the NSDAP, but was kicked out in 1933 due to his writings, which were banned. He died in 1935 in Kleinmachnow, as the result of self-inflicted gunshot wounds. He wrote so-called trivial literature voluminously, producing paperback magazine novels in several series. Der Detektiv, later named Harald Haas, reached nearly 400 issues. Another series he wrote for, which interests us today, were the Olaf K. Abelson novels, or Abenteuer abseits vom Alltagswege, Adventures Beyond the Commonplace, attributed to a fictional Swedish writer named Max Schraut. Specifically, we will cover the 1953 re-edition of the 4th volume of this series, Das Kreuz der Wüste, published as The Cross of the Steppe. The story can easily be read without reading the previous volumes. The writer, Olaf Abelson himself, begins by saying, "All life has given me were nothing but soap bubbles," recounting the death of his closest friend, the fateful South American native Koikala, and the death of his dog. Abelson is now living alone inside a massive artificial island made of steel and pumice, an artificial island meant as a refuge for the banished and persecuted. He has spent 3 months alone, piloting his island across the ocean randomly, and committing occasional acts of piracy. One day he comes across a wrecked yacht. Rummaging the deck for newspapers, he returns to his island to find an aborigine who calls himself Bell Dingo drinking his water. Dingo follows him outside when they hear gunshots, and he drags a woman on board. The woman is introduced as Ethel Murray, sister to Paloma Ruxa, the notorious Cross of the Steppe, being a female bandit leader known for many notorious gold robberies across Australia. When they are dining together on the deck, they are menaced by a diver outside, who shows them a sign saying if they do not let the island rise to the surface at once, the police will blow them up. Getting to the shore, Abelson loses sight of Miss Murray and is taken to Bell Dingo's mother's house built inside a cave. But the police seize both Dingo and Abelson, trying to find out where Abelson sunk his island. The two eventually escape and make their way to the Ruxa farm, Paloma and Ethel's home, where their father shot himself when his sheep herds were decimated by disease. Abelson finds the Ethel Murray here is not the same as the one on his ship, and realizes it was Paloma posing as her sister. Soon he is arrested by a policeman pretending to be an eccentric butterfly hunter. Inspector Bluss uncovers that the police targeting Abelson before were hired goons defending Paloma at the behest of an English lord who fell in love with her. The farm is stormed by the notorious Inspector Bluss, and we find out Dingo is a millionaire who is helping Ethel to try and stop Paloma from her self-destructive quest for vengeance, which led her to seize the man who destroyed her father's herds, Lord Battingham, the father of her current lover, and hang him in barbed wire alive on top of a giant wooden cross atop her father's grave until his death. Bluss wants to hang Dingo, but first hangs Abelson from a tree, and has an automatic saw slowly saw through the supports to eventually hang him in a Poesque pit in the pendulum fashion. But Dingo and Abelson escape, and chase the insane Bluss to Abelson's island, which sinks into the ocean and kills both Paloma and Robert Battingham, whom Ethel was afraid Paloma would murder out of revenge for what his father did. But they end up embracing just before they die.